Welcome back to Affordable Practical Living. Today we are doing keto or low carb pumpkin cheesecake. You're going to start with 2 bricks of cream cheese. This is full fat, but you can do low fat if you'd like. We're going to go in with 3/4 cup of pumpkin puree. Now this is homemade, but you can use the can. Just make sure it's not pumpkin pie. It's got to be the pure pumpkin. We're going to go in with 1/4 cup of sour cream. Now, if you don't have sour cream, you can do a full cup of pumpkin, or if you want to do a full cup of pumpkin, you don't have to have the sour cream. Or if you don't have enough pumpkin and you only have a half a cup, add a little bit more of the sour cream. We're going to go in with some vanilla. I winged it. I think that was about a teaspoon of vanilla. Put in a full cup of your choice of sugar substitute. And then we're going to go in with 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Now, my measuring spoon doesn't fit in there. The teaspoon doesn't, so I use a half a teaspoon. So it looks like I'm putting 4 teaspoons in, but it's only half teaspoon, so it's the equivalent of 2 teaspoons. We're going to go in next with 2 large eggs. And I keep my eggs at room temperature just because mine are fresh. But I feel like even if your eggs are store-bought, you should probably do room temperature. I don't know if it makes a difference. We're going to go ahead and mix all this up. And just so you guys know, I am making this ahead. This is for my husband's birthday, which happens to be during the week. And I work the next day. So I have decided that I'm going to do the mixing this day. And then I will put it in the fridge for 24 hours. And then when I get home the next day, I will go ahead and make the crust and bake it up. And you can do that. You can do that for, I think up to 2 days you can make the filling ahead. And I actually, so then I end up putting this into a small glass bowl, but I have to switch it because the bowl was too small and I couldn't close it. So I switch it. But this is all made until the next day where I go ahead and start baking the crust. So I'm going to go ahead and spray my springform pan with some nonstick cooking spray. And then from there, you're going to use 2 cups of almond flour and a half a stick of butter. I have not tried it with anything other than butter. I'm not sure if margarine will work or not. So here I'm trying to be all fancy and just do it and make it into crumbs on the camera. This is not how I usually do this, guys. I don't. I usually just throw it right into the pan, the springform pan, and make it like that. So after a second, you're going to see that this little trick that I'm trying to do to make it look fancy for you guys, it wasn't working. It's horrible. So instead, I just go back to my normal tried and true method, and I grab the pan and I say, you know what, I'm just going to show you guys real life, and here it goes. I'm just plopping it in there. And you know what, guys, you're going to use your hands for this. You're going to squish that almond flour into the softened butter. And you're going to keep doing it like you're making a dough for like biscuits or whatever, like you're kneading it. You're going to just squish it all in there until it starts to stick. Now this is cold butter, but it's soft. So it's not quite room temperature. And I'm just squishing all that into it, just making it into a big patty. Can you see how I'm just really just squishing it? So then you're going to do that all the way around. Once you get all of it combined, and you can see as I start working my way around it, that it just really starts to combine and stick together. Once I can feel it, I will start flattening out the dough. And you can tell once you start flattening it out if it's going to be too crumbly or not. Once it stays into a sticking position, see how I'm doing that with my knuckles? That is telling me and indicating that that is ready. So you're going to pat it down and you're going to make it so that it goes all the way across your springform. This is a 9-inch springform. I know they have 8-inch springforms. If you're using an 8 or 6-inch, go ahead and work it up the side of it. Now I have a little point in here that actually indicates where I like mine. But if I were using a smaller spring form, I would certainly go past that point and just work this up into the crevice and up the sides. So I'm just moving this dough around for it to just kind of move with me. See how that's moving with me as I push it toward the other side. I promise, guys, this will cover your spring form pan as long as it's 9 inches or less. You just got to work it in there. And I love recipes that don't use a lot of ingredients. I feel like half a stick of butter is not that bad. You can put pumpkin pie spice mixed with that almond flour if you'd like. In fact, I wish I had done that for this, but I did not. So I'm just going around the edges and making sure that it is tight around the edges because I don't want it to be crumbly when I go to take it out of the spring form and try to cut it. I want that to be nice and firm. You are going to put this in the oven for 10 minutes at 325. Once it comes out, you're going to go ahead and pour your batter in, and you are going to, and see the clumps in there, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. That does not matter at all. You're going to place that back in the oven at 325 for about 55 minutes. All right, once it comes out of the oven, you're going to wait for it to cool off and then place it in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 5 hours. There you have it, pumpkin cheesecake. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.